So, my streams will be a balance between all the stuff that I'm currently doing. All right. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the other elephant in the room outside of the gifted membership glitch from last night. Let's talk about the situation with WWE 2K22. Because we got to determine this morning if I continue this playthrough or not, and I absolutely need everyone's feedback on this, okay? So, first of all, let's talk about what's happened with the playthrough so far, how it's going, and, basically how I'm seeing people receive it, I guess would be the proper word, right? Okay. Started off with WWE 2K22 last week. Immediately the stream gets taken down. Within like an hour, okay? Why? Because I was playing showcase mode. Now, let's clarify something. WWE 2K22 has a mode called Creator Mode that supposedly removes any issues you will have creating content with the game. Bullshit! It doesn't do anything at all besides mute a few songs. Like, everything is still in there. If you play showcase mode, there's still clips of matches in there. If you play the other modes, every logo, every video package, it's all still in there. The only thing it does is mute some of the music. That's it. So, I hate to say it, 2K Games pretending like they care about content creation of their game, it's a complete lie. The mode doesn't work at all because I have had nothing but problems with this game since I started playing it, okay? So first of all, within an hour of me streaming the showcase mode, which is supposed to be the history of Rey Mysterio, my whole stream gets taken down, blocked, identified as having copywritten content from WWE. Well, I guess we're not going to be doing showcase mode. So everyone's telling me, Phil, everyone online played the My Rise mode. This is the mode where you make your own character and you go through their career. This is the mode that went virally popular months ago, and you should definitely do that. That's the one everyone wants to see. So we started it, and you start off in developmental, which means that you're not really on any show. It's called the Performance Center, and you do a few matches there. Then eventually you end up on a show, and I chose NXT, which is their developmental show. It's not really like a full-time live televised show. At least it wasn't at one point. It may be today. But basically, NXT is where you go to get started, to learn your craft, right? Your first version of your characters, your first version of who you are in the ring, with your movesets, gets developed there. And then if you're lucky enough and if you're liked enough, they promote you to one of the main shows, either Raw or SmackDown. And now you're there for millions of viewers every week. And you're very different. Things change when you get to the main shows. Essentially, you change your character and a lot of stuff. Your name sometimes changes, okay? So there you go. Now, what happened in my playthrough was that as I was playing it, eventually I got to one of the main shows, SmackDown. So after playing this game for like 10 hours, I get to one of the main shows. Immediately when I get to one of the main shows, my video gets erroneously claimed, all right, on YouTube by a third-party company, not by WWE or by the game developer. Some third-party studio is claiming that I stole content from someone else's Let's Play of WWE 2K22, all right? Obviously, that's bullshit. Obviously, I'm not stealing content from someone else's fucking Let's Play. It's my own. And so, they blocked the goddamn video. This was part 10 of my WWE 2K22 My Rise playthrough. Blocked entirely. No one can see it. All right? So, by the way, want to know what was claimed? The animation of my created wrestler walking to the ring. It was like 20 seconds. Now, I had two options. Remove the 20 seconds of video and hope that then the content ID doesn't match the video again, or counterclaim it. In this case, I know this company doesn't have a leg to stand on with copyright law. I didn't steal their Let's Play. It was just misidentified. So I disputed it, and it should be cleared up. The problem is, when there's a company like this, just think about how asinine this is. We loaded in one of our clients' Let's Plays into YouTube to be content ID match. Like, how stupid can you be? Of course, there's going to be common things that it's going to find, like maybe a cutscene and shit. Can you imagine how many thousands of videos are misclaimed right now because of the actions of this dumb fuck company that doesn't understand DNCA law? Like, seriously, it's really, really stupid, and I can't believe that they get away with it. The problem with that is, since they misappropriated the MCA law the way that they did, they misapplied it here, okay? Do you really think that company is going to review all the false claims against them, review all the disputes they're getting, and release them? No. Here's what they're going to do. Sit and do nothing. So if they sit and do nothing and they get all these counterclaims, within 30 days, all the counterclaims get auto-granted. The problem is my video is still blocked for 30 freaking days. So even though I counterclaim these guys back on Saturday, it may be until next month, at the end of next month, that I'll finally get rights to my video back and be able to have it be visible on YouTube. By the way, I'm so angry about this, I spontaneously got a sunburn on my skin. I don't know if you saw that. I'm so upset that my skin actually changed 3 hues pinker. This camera's being very stupid recently. Oh, there we go. I'm going to turn this off for now. Anytime that like it gets brighter outside, this happens. So I'm going to turn off the auto white balance for now so I don't look like I'm going to explode. Okay. So, that's that. That video is now into the dispute process, and I probably have to wait a month for it to come back. So right now, if you're watching my WWE 2K22 My Rise playthrough, you can't watch part 10, and you probably won't be able to for another month. Is that stupid? Absolutely, yes, it is. It doesn't make any sense. It's a blatant abuse of copyright law. YouTube doesn't care. Okay. Now, yesterday, I play WWE 2K again. Another 3 hours of gameplay. All of them on SmackDown. So this is one of the major shows that WWE has on television, okay? I upload my videos. And as they upload, they go bing, 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 flag, flag, flag. Wait, what? Yes. So out of the 3 videos I uploaded yesterday, 2 of them have been flagged for content ID. They're not eligible for advertisements whatsoever, supposedly. And these 2 parts, part 12 and 13, have been blocked in certain countries. Okay? What countries and what's the deal? I have the data for you. You're going to get a good laugh out of this. You ready? So I opened up the data, and here's what it told me. All right? This is a typical example of what a YouTube screen looks like when you get a content ID match. That's a complicated one. So first of all, if you look all the way to the left, it says your channel is not affected, which is good, because there's potential your channel could be affected with a full copyright strike. Thank God that didn't happen. Okay? Then, all right, so what's the effect on the video? Well, the video is partially blocked, meaning some people can watch it depending on where they live, and some people can't. Okay? All right. What criteria is used to judge that? Probably copyright law, but I wouldn't know. I'm not a lawyer. So, is it eligible for ads? Absolutely not. Completely ineligible worldwide. You will not make $1 on this video for any views you get on it. It's demonetized. Okay? So, what countries is it okay in? Well, you can watch it if you're in the United States, and as you can see, it even says that's about 60% of my viewing audience is in the U.S., so the majority of my viewers can watch the video if they want. Then you got the UK, you got Canada, and a few other common territories, you know, where the common views come from for any YouTube channel of content that's made for like an English-speaking audience. Then it lists the countries where it's blocked. Have you ever seen such a confusing mishmash of countries? I mean, we got Sri Lanka in there, Afghanistan. Like, why in particular would this video be blocked there, but not in the US or other places? Like, that's confusing, right? That's really confusing. And of course, that is absolutely true. Someone just said you could just use a VPN. Correct. If you really want to watch my WWE playthrough and you live in India and you can't watch it because it got blocked in India, you can just use a VPN to change your IP address and now you can watch it anyway. So this block makes no sense whatsoever regardless. It has no actual use. It's just a waste of everyone's time. But YouTube pretends like this is a valid system to use for copyright enforcement. It's not. Okay? So this is what happened at first. And then I went deeper. And I said, I want to know why these 2 videos have this issue. What was identified in the video as copywritten content? I want to know how this happened. Because this is a Let's Play. It should be protected under fair use law. So I delved deeper down the rabbit hole of content ID claims on YouTube. And here's what I found. Basically, YouTube is so stupid, okay? It believes that if you have anything in a video that says SmackDown, it thinks you're actually rebroadcasting the WWE show SmackDown. In fact, I don't know, I don't think it says it here. It basically matched this to an episode of SmackDown from like 2019 that apparently was loaded into Content ID on YouTube. So just think about this. I'm playing a game. The purpose of the game is to simulate WWE programming. So, of course, you're going to have the actual real shows of WWE in the game, SmackDown, Raw, or whatever. The logos, the animations for the shows are going to be in the game. They did it on purpose to make it realistic. They made it so realistic that YouTube's own Content ID system here doesn't know the difference between the video game and the actual television show, and it flags your game content as the actual television show. So it thinks I'm re-uploading SmackDown episodes, and therefore it blocks the video. Okay? So I said to myself, well, sometimes you get the option to remove the infringing content and then you can clear the whole issue up. So I'd like to do that. So I clicked on the option to remove, and here's what it gave me. It said, you have to remove 50 minutes out of your hour-long video. You have to trim your video from an hour to 10 minutes long for anyone to watch it on YouTube. So, obviously I said, no thanks, that doesn't really make much sense. Okay? I'm very upset about this, if you can't tell. So anyway, here's the deal and here's the problem. All right? There is no way for me to protect myself against this. The good news is, it looks like I will not get any true copyright strikes. It looks like, at least the way WWE set up their Content ID system, they don't strike you. They just try to either block or outright prevent advertisements on videos that they feel are re-uploads of their television shows. Okay? Obviously, this is not the case. This is not what this is. But again, I've said this a million times, YouTube's Content ID system is not sufficient to enforce any kind of copyright law. It does not properly identify anything. It's a poorly programmed, poorly coded, badly implemented system. The only reason it's on YouTube is to legally protect YouTube from being sued, because they were sued in the past by the music industry. The music industry said, you're just allowing anyone to make content with all the music and songs that we have rights to, and we get nothing for it. This is unacceptable, and they sued YouTube and won in court, and YouTube legally then had to create a system that they claimed was going to prevent said abuse in the future. What they came up with was this inept piece of shit. It's a garbage system that doesn't work, but they only had to do it because they were ordered by a court, and there's been no follow-up to make sure the system works, and there's no accountability for it. So the system literally on a daily basis is identifying thousands upon thousands upon thousands of videos erroneously, and then granting the rights to people who shouldn't have the rights, blocking videos that shouldn't be blocked, and no one does anything about it. They literally say, well, hands off, automated site, oh well. So, what do I do about WWE 2K22, my friends? We got to figure this out, all right? It appears that any time that I have a segment in the game that takes place on SmackDown, or Raw for that matter, because if it already is doing the same for episodes of SmackDown, you have to think it's going to do the same thing for Raw. It's going to think that when I'm on the Raw show, that Monday Night Raw is actually the real show from television, and it's going to claim and or have issues with that too, right? Right. I mean, it stands to reason it's going to have the same exact issue. No matter where I am on these shows, it's going to keep doing it. So, what do? I basically have three options. Okay? Option number one, we quit the playthrough. We say, listen, I tried, but these issues are not going to go away. We acknowledge the fact that YouTube's Content ID system is broken and is not going to fix itself. And we say, to hell with it, let's do something different. What would we do different? I have absolutely no idea. Because right now we're already in the midst of dead time. There's no new releases, as I said, of any high profile till June 10th. So if I drop WWE, I have no clue what we would do in its place. We'd have to discuss it and try to figure it out. I can tell you right now, Skyrim isn't doing well as a day stream. It's hard to retain viewership and even to get constant support for Skyrim because it's an older game. It's a game I played a lot in January, and then basically the playthrough's been going on for over 100 hours, and the interest has waned. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I can just say, oh, we'll just play Skyrim more. That's not going to work. We got to figure out something else. Now, what would I do? I don't know, because I've been asking for 2 weeks, what should we do? And there's been zero consensus. As happy as some people are to see me return to games like Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past and Uncharted 2, some people are upset. He's not playing this particular game I wanted or this particular game I wanted, even though they just don't understand that there's no consensus right now. They're a vocal minority. And there's no one saying, oh, this is the one game Phil should absolutely be playing because he skipped it. It's not the case at all, okay?